Hi there, my name is Chales, but you can also call me the voice of showbiz, and I welcome you to the Top Trend channel on YouTube. Today, we're going to be tackling some 10 things you didn't know about Ghana. Yes, 10 things you didn't know about Ghana. Number 1. Ghana is the second largest producer of cocoa in the world. Cocoa is the chief agricultural export of Ghana and Ghana's main cash crop. Cocoa cultivation is not native to the country. Ghana's cocoa cultivation, however, is noted within the developing world to be one of the most modeled commodities and valuables. Ghana's cocoa production grew an average of 16% between 2000 to 2003. Cocoa has a long production cycle, far longer than many other tropical crops, and new hybrid varieties need over 5 years to come into production and a further 10 to 15 years for the tree to reach its full bearing potential. In 2018-2019, Ghana is estimated to have produced about 900,000 tons of cocoa beans, a decrease from approximately 969,000 tons in 2016-2017. Although cocoa beans originate from South America, the majority of cocoa bean production is attributed to Africa, and Ghana currently ranks as the second cocoa production nation in the world. Number 2. Ghana was the first sub-Saharan country to gain independence. The decolonization of Africa took place in the mid to late 1950s and 1960s, with sudden and radical regime changes on the continent as colonial government made the transition to independent states. This was often quite unorganized and marred with violence and political turmoil. In 1949, riots broke out across the territory, and while Nkrumah and other leaders ended up in prison, the event became a catalyst for the independence movement. After being released from prison, Nkrumah founded the Convention People's Party, which launched a mass-based campaign for independence with the slogan, "Self-Government Now." In February 1951, the Convention People's Party gained political power by winning 34 of 38 elected seats, including one for Nkrumah, who was in prison at the time. London revised the Gold Coast Constitution to give blacks a majority in the legislature in 1951. On 6 March 1957, Ghana, formerly the Gold Coast, became the first sub-Saharan African country to gain its independence from European colonization. Moving on to number 3. Ghana is the 4th most peaceful country in Africa. According to the Global Peace Index, Ghana is ranked the 4th most peaceful country in Africa and 44 in the world. Iceland remains the most peaceful country in the world, a position it has held since 2008. It is joined at the top of the index by New Zealand, Austria, Portugal, and Denmark. Bhutan has recorded the largest improvement of any country in the top 20, rising 43 places in the last 12 years. The report said Ghana is set to be peaceful due to good leadership and political stability. Number 4. Ghana is the highest producer of gold in Africa. Ghana has become the world's number 1 producer of gold in Africa. The West African country formerly known as Gold Coast until March 6, 1957, beat former world number 1 gold producer South Africa, which has until recently held the top position for several decades. South Africa now takes the second place with a huge gap existing the two countries that have benefited from gold trades century before colonization. Number 5. The Ghanaian currency called cedis got its name from seashells. The use of shells as monetary currency is not unusual historically. In West African shell money, known as cowries, was legal tender until the middle of the 19th century. The Ghanaian currency cedis is named after the fancy word meaning cowrie shell, which was first introduced as currency in Africa during the 14th century. The value of the shell was greater in Ghana and other African countries. The supplying religions which made the use of shells as currency quickly became widespread. Modern coins were produced and used in Ghana from the late 1700s, but cowries were accepted as currency until 1901. Number 6. Ghana has the largest of artificial lake in the world. Lake Volta, the largest artificial reservoir in the world, based on surface area, is contained behind the Akosombo Dam, which generates a substantial amount of Ghana's electricity. It is completely within the country of Ghana and has a surface area of about 8,502 square kilometers. It extends from Akosombo in the south to the northern part of the country. The lake is formed by the Akosombo Dam, which was originally conceived by the geologist Albert in 1915. Because of the formation of Lake Volta, about 78,000 people were relocated to the new town and villages, along with 200,000 animals belonging to them. Number 7. Elmina Castle was erected by the Portuguese in 1482 as Castelo de São Jorge da Mina, St. George of the Min Castle, also known as Castelo de Mina or Simple Mina, or Fetoria de Mina in the present-day Elmina. Ghana, formerly the Gold Coast. It was the first trading post built on the Gulf of Guinea and the oldest European building in existence south of the Sahara. First established as a trade settlement, the castle later became one of the most important stops on the route of the Atlantic slave trade. The Dutch seized the fort from the Portuguese in 1637 after an unsuccessful attempt to the same extent in 1956 and took over all of the Portuguese Gold Coast in 1642. The slave trade continued under the Dutch until 1814. In 1872, the Dutch Gold Coast, including the fort, became a possession of Great Britain. Ghana is famous for its jollof rice making. Jollof rice is one of the most common dishes in West Africa. There are several regional variations in names and ingredients. The dish most common name is jollof rice, derived from the name Wolof people. Jollof rice was originated from Senegal. It was passed along the West African coast and became very popular in countries like Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon. Ghanaians have adopted the dish and are famous for cooking the best jollof rice on the continent. In Ghana, jollof rice is served with chicken and shito. There's a constant battle between Ghana and Nigeria over which country cooks the best jollof rice. In the competition, Ghana defeated Nigeria. Number 9. Ghana has the largest market in West Africa. Right in the heart of Kumasi is one of West Africa's largest open-air markets. It is bordered to the north by the Kumasi Cultural Center and to the northwest by the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. The southern part of the Kejetia market forms a border with Edum. The commercial center of the city, virtually everything that one wants to purchase from a market can be found at Kumasi Central Market. Kejetia market ranges from gold, jewelry, and diamond jewelry, handcrafted by the Ashantis, food, Ashanti Kente clothing fabrics, and footwear by printers, spices, grains, and toiletries. If a person is traveling with someone, it is necessary to stay close since it is very easy to lose one another and easy to lose one's way. Kejetia market is a great place to buy fabric, such as the Ashanti people's Kente clothing, and see a huge Kejetia market full of everyday hustle and bustle. Number 10. Ghana is the third African country with the most beautiful women. Like many other men, you probably pay attention to a woman's faculty beauty. Also, you may prefer a woman with very smooth skin texture. Quite a number of women from Ghana are very attractive. Some of the tribes that particularly stand out are the Ewe and Hausa. Their women have light complexion and stunning facial features. These are 10 things you didn't know about Ghana. Hope you enjoyed the video. Still your favorite host, Ashale Prince, and then you can also call me the voice of showbiz. Don't forget to subscribe and comment on the video. Meet same time next week. Bye bye.